Right, my name's Jamie Abbott. I work for Capita, who run a delivery unit on behalf of the GLA called Renew. Renew is the Mayor of London's programme to reduce carbon emissions in domestic properties, that is existing domestic properties. It's tackling the 4 million or so homes that we have in existence already in London. We have technical support, um, ranging from data analysis through to procurement support, quality assurance, and design verification, um, to address things like thermal bridging, and to make projects happen. We work a lot with social landlords. We also have a remit to work on private sector initiatives, and Matt's just talked about the solar auction. I'll talk about a little bit more in a second. Today, the aim of Renew is to provide a kind of high-level technical resource for London to instigate projects. So it has quite a far, wide reach from a fairly small number of people. So we're supporting about 70 organisations at the moment. Supported projects on 30,000 odd homes, ranging from loft insulation to solar PV to fuel switching from electric to gas or renewable heat sources. In terms of solar initiatives, at the moment, in the current context, we're running two projects. One is a procurement support for a housing association to try and take advantage of the current feed-in tariff context. There are, as far as we understand, some organisations still offering paid for solar PV, putting onto tenanted homes for free and providing free electricity to those tenants. That procurement's ongoing at the moment. Will conclude this month, and we hope to have an option for social landlords to take up this free solar on their properties, with the potential for that to cover thousands of properties within the next year through third-party investment. It's a simple model in some ways. We'll talk a little bit on my last slide about what happens next after feed-in tariffs end at the end of April or beginning of April next year. We think we'll see a more complex model come into play. So I've more or less summarised that, but the key thing about this procurement exercise that we're running or supporting at the moment with the Housing Association Optivo is not only that we hope they will be able to deliver several thousand solar PV installations on their properties both in London and in the southeast for free, reducing tenant bills and addressing fuel poverty, improving the energy performance of their tenanted homes, and therefore addressing some of the key aims of the GLA. We also have that framework. Optivo will be opening to other social landlords across London and across the UK, and we're hopeful that that will give another quick, high quality delivery route for other social landlords. So if you're interested in that, you work for an RSL or a local borough, come and let me know, take your details, and if and when that is published, be pleased to share the details and see if we can get more happening. I think it's fair to emphasise we see this year as a year of real opportunity for solar, and creating another period of real momentum in the industry. We've gone through a bit of the doldrums over the last couple of years since some changes in policy. We're now coming to the end of a subsidy regime that we probably won't see in its current format again. So if you there have the opportunity, it's really now is the time to take advantage of that. There'll still be an opportunity for solar coming next year. There'll be more through a different and more sophisticated route. On the private sector then, as Matt mentioned, on Monday, a solar auction, a collective purchasing scheme was launched by the Mayor. It's being run in partnership with 5 boroughs in South and West London. It's called Solar Together London. It's based on a Dutch concept and initiative that's been running several tens of these types of community purchasing schemes in the Netherlands and in Belgium. So if any of you here live in Kingston, Sutton, Merton, Brent or Ealing, or indeed if you're interested and live in London and are interested in putting solar on your roofs, go along to the Mayor's website and you'll find a link to this solar auction collective purchasing scheme. The idea is that through publicity of a straightforward, pre-qualified solar offer, we will generate several thousand expressions of interest from householders, homeowners who might be interested in putting solar onto their roof, have some money to put towards that, but may have found the market for solar too complex, may not have found time to take forward and understand the difference between a monocrystalline, polycrystalline solar panel, a solar watt or another kind of inverter. This is a scheme that has already engaged with solar installers, written a detailed and well vetted brief and specification. So we're ensuring that we have a best practice set of solar panels and kit that will be installed. People will sign up, express their interest. In April, once we've hopefully got several thousand people, that body of excited, interesting individuals will be auctioned to a panel of installers. The best offer will be selected, and that installer will then be able to give a concise offer on the basis of their bid to those interested households. Those households will be able to say yes or no, and then go forwards to installation. In Norfolk, they did a similar scheme a couple of years ago. About 4,000 people signed up. About 800 people went ahead and installed solar. So we're quite excited about the potential within London. As Matt said, there's been quite low take up. So if we did get 1,000 installs, this could be quite a significant proportion of solar installations in London to date. So just brief outlines there. It's impartial. It's not tied to any particular installer. It is competitive. The auction will happen mid-April and installations between June and December this year. What happens next? If that's successful, we're really hopeful that we'll be able to run another similar auction. So do look out for that. If your installer missed out on the communications this time, look out for that. Not yet authorised or approved. We'll have to see how the first one goes, but we're hopeful that'll be successful. Once that procurement of the third-party offer I mentioned earlier is done, there'll be the potential to take that up for other social landlords. And we, at the moment, are also working with the GLA and other partners on investigating the new business models that might arise or are already arising with battery technology, with the potential for peer-to-peer trading, potential for demand response services, and also power purchase agreements, which are likely to come to the fore as feed-in tariffs decline. So we're quite interesting to see the route for solar develop over the next year and how that integrates with perhaps a more complex and sophisticated approach to house retrofit as a whole, which would be nice to see. Less single measure installations and more combinations of solar panels with batteries, with insulation, with other energy reduction measures.